This video is sponsored by War Thunder. More on that later. Welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, and today we're trying something new. Today I'll be trying out Sheep's mod. Sheep reached out to me a while ago and asked, could you please give my AI mod a try? It makes everything so much more special, so much more interesting. Mostly because, well, once you've played the game for a while, the AI gets really easy to deal with. And guess what? I've played the game for quite a while. So we will be trying this mod out today as Germany. Hey there, post-production Bittersteel here with a small disclaimer. So the mod creator reached out to me after I finished recording this already, saying there's a problem with the current, well, at the time version up on the Steam Workshop. Something wasn't quite right. AI behavior wasn't what it was intended to be, meaning it was much easier than it was supposed to be. Mostly the UK not defending itself properly and Russia not doing everything it should be. That said, the suffering you're about to see is not the intended level of suffering. There should be much more of it. So if you want to watch that, if you want to see me go up against the mod at full power, let me know down below. I still hope you enjoy watching it. I enjoyed making it, so I'm not going to toss this footage out. We'll just make another video. Anyway, let's get to the show. There's only one problem though. I can't remember how to play Germany. It's been 4 months since I played a game of Germany from start to finish, and it wasn't a disaster save. Fortunately, that creates opportunities. I will be playing Germanreich based on my own Götterdämmerung Germany guide, and we'll see if 1, it still works, and 2, if it's robust enough to deal with this new and juiced up AI. If you're interested in that guide, I'll leave a link down below and pop up on screen right there, and let's get into it. So we've got some difficulty settings. This is new, easy, normal 1, normal 2, okay? Same as normal 2, but less toxic. And then a multiplayer setting and randomized. Let's just stick with, I guess, normal 2. I'm not bitch made, so let's find out how much this sucks. Pop-ups. Okay, so this mod does offer you quite a bit of AI customization to tailor things to your taste. Friendly AI. Do I want it to be even dumber, a little better, or just a lot better? I kind of want it to just be like slightly enhanced. It might make Italy less frustrating to play along. Soviet infantry. Let's just stick with the default options. Oh, more Soviet infantry. Let's just go with large infantry balanced playstyle, I guess. Should the AI try their best? Yeah. There's also vanilla history experimental. Warning, may plummet Axis performance. Don't worry, I'll be responsible for that. We'll pick the top option. There we have it. Game setup, ready to rock and roll. So I'm not going to be going over exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to follow my guide. I'll chime in where and when I deviate from it. So Germany starts with its usual army, its usual layout. It's fine, I guess. Looking at production, I want a lot of guns. I want some support equipment. I want some towed artillery. I don't want that many light tanks, if I'm honest. I want mediums as soon as I can. Trucks, yes. Air, good, but I don't need that much air right now because the air you're making early game is bad anyway. Might as well not make it. Get rid of the mediums. That gives me 2 more factories. Let's use those to make AA. I remember this much, and I'll put 1 factory on trains and I'll take it away from the improved light tanks. Germany doesn't start with trains in production, and it's nice to have a little bit of a stockpile just in case the war with the Allies doesn't quite go as planned. Then for the Navy, again, I just build all the ships. The guy tells me to build all the ships. Mathematically, it's probably best if you design some sort of fresh design, or potentially you go out of your way to build a few special vessels if you want to play a Germany naval game. So what you could do is do that heavy cruiser that shreds light stuff and match it with some destroyers. I've made some, I'll make a naval guide as well. Commanders, this is a secure transmission. You have studied doctrine, managed logistics, and drawn the lines on the map. But until you have faced the battlefield in steel, your training is incomplete. War Thunder is your next stage simulation, a high-fidelity combat environment designed to test and refine your understanding of mechanized warfare. This is where theory meets terrain. War Thunder is the most extensive vehicle combat simulation ever made and is available for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. You'll deploy historically accurate armor, from early reconnaissance models to the heavy hitters like the Tiger and Panther series. Every vehicle handles with period-accurate performance, mobility, armor layout, rate of fire, all modeled over real time. Over 2,500 vehicles will be at your disposal, including those employed by the foe. Learn, improve, adapt. Air assets are operational. Dive bombers, interceptors, close air support, all flyable. And survivability, that's on you. Progression will be merit-based. Adapt, advance, or be left behind. There are no shortcuts, there is no room for error. War Thunder is free to access. Use the encrypted links down below for immediate deployment access, including a premium American tank, currency, bonuses, and 7-day rentals of various armor to begin testing for new commanders and returning veterans. Download and deploy now. This concludes your briefing. Dismissed. I guess off to the races, remilitarizing the Rhineland. A little bit of construction, Westfalen, Hessen, and then the Rhineland-Moselland, and Sif. Now let's group up the Navy, so we'll have something of a high seas fleet, and we'll exercise them. And to make sure we can actually exercise the Navy and the Air Force, we'll do some trading. We need a little bit of oil. The obvious choice there is to buy oil from Romania, and when Romania runs out, pick in countries that we are very unlikely to have a fight with, such as Venezuela. A couple of fun decisions. So I found toggle extra menu. Okay. Toggle minor Santa Claus event. I mean, yes. Everybody gets richer. Oh, this just adds building slots for everyone. This just adds random resources on the map. Okay. Delete Indochina. Indochina might be a little buggy on very unique occasions. Okay, there, I've deleted Indochina. Sino-Japanese balance, what does that do? Strengthen China, greatly strengthen China, or nothing for Japan yet? Let's not touch that too much. Let's strengthen China a little bit. I've seen Japan over on them way too often. I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but I just noticed I have 7 army experience and I haven't done anything other than change out my infantry equipment. Either this is a bug with a mod or a bug with the base game. I'm certain we'll find out soon enough, but that does give me an opportunity. It means I can go into my division designer, create an empty template, and add a horse. And now we have our garrison template. So using that new template, I've also changed all these divisions to have the names of channel members. These will be the glorious armies that will take to the field in my honor, in my name, in my service. Hopefully they will perform. I'm sure they will. These are the people who allow me to do what I do, and I am incredibly grateful for their contributions. So we'll add 62 divisions. That's, unless my math is terrible, 3 armies, giving us a full 4 armies relatively quickly. So I've also already reached the point in the guide where I'm going to make an executive decision. So my old guide says pick Goebbels, and then once he's done, you can go straight into war economy because it gives you that 5% war support you need. But I'm thinking, is that really what I want? Because I can get war support in other places. I find myself swimming in political power by the time, you just get so much political power as Germany. I have another option, so I'm going to try the other option. I'm going to lead with taught, shouldn't change things too much, and then, once Spain has its civil war, I'm going to send them a military attaché, which will allow me to go up to war economy still. The only difference is it gives me war economy a little bit later, and gives me a slightly higher cost in terms of political power, but I think getting taught sooner gives me a stronger build-up. Alright, so I have about 4 armies worth of troops now. They're almost all terrible horses. We're now going to convert those 70 terrible horses into infantry divisions. Yes, I don't have that kind of equipment, but I don't need to have it yet. Alright, the MIFO bills are already MIFO billing, but if my math's correct, price controls should allow us to weather the MIFO bill storm. Alright, there we have it. Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. So what we're going to do is send an attaché to Sanjurjo. Oh, he's gonna say no. So what we're going to do is improve our relations with Sanjurjo. Probably just send them volunteers. Either way, we're going to send volunteers. We're gonna take our motorized and tanks. What I've done here is take one of my tank units, convert it into a motorized. So I have 2 motorized, 2 tanks. I'm gonna do a little bit of trait grinding. Again, I mentioned this in the guide. It's nothing fancy, nothing special. So we're gonna send these boys to Spain. I could send more, but I'm a little equipment deprived at the moment, so 4 is going to be it, and we're going to send 2 air wings as well. Those 2 air wings are going to be one of my tactical bomber squads and one of my fighter squadrons. They can all stop training now. I think I accidentally turned them on full pilot exercises. Anyway, off you go then. Good. Will they like us enough for an attaché? No, I think we're gonna have to improve relations still. And get the fighters up and start fighting. These will start bringing us that much needed army and air experience. And they like us well enough now for the attaché, so we'll send that. Cost us 100. There we go. That gives us the war support we need to go up to war economy. We also have a bunch of army experience. Might as well spend it. Let's just go with bold attack. Get our generals some chances to level up properly. We'll get plenty of stability other places. And our troops have arrived in Pain. If you want to know how exactly I plan to grind in the Civil War, I explain it in the guide. And I've already found the second flaw with the guide. I think they updated it because instead of improved machine tools, which I'm doing now, the guide tells me to grab radio. But Germany starts with radio now, so I'll just get economy. And with that first deviation where I took Tod instead of Goebbels, I'm going to make a second executive decision. Because if I would just swap Tod and Goebbels, that would be that. But Goebbels' real initial usefulness is his extra war support, which I now don't need. His other buffs are nice, but are they nice enough? I don't think they matter enough to pick up before I pick up like Hess or Bormann, and I think I want Bormann instead of Hess. So I'll pick up Bormann for more political power. We have a little bit of army experience we could spend, not on doctrines, but on a spirit of the army. They've changed this, by the way. Motorization drive used to make it free to change motorized and armor templates. That's now different. Now you get more experience from combat as mech and motorized. Let's just go with proper heritage. Well, considering my political power, I really should be picking Organization Tod, considering that's what I said in the guide. But the more I think about it, the more I realize, is this really worth it now? Because it mostly boosts military factory, forts, railways, infrastructure. We're not building mills for the next couple of months at least, so I can get the experience, the political power later. Let's instead just get the Reichsminister for Labor first and then go from there. So I know I'm doing a lot of these executive decisions, and this one's got me thinking. You know, at this point, I could go ahead with Organization Tod. 140 days, it's gonna finish, and then he's gonna get even more construction speed. It's a lot of construction speed I can get out of this. It makes Organization Tod better, and it allows Speer to build mills faster as well. Or I switch him out at this point. I go with a slightly nerfed Organization Tod, so I would be 5% construction speed less. I would have 5% construction speed reduced for basically all my construction, and I would get Speer instead. He gets a flat 5% construction speed on everything, so mathematically you lose 5% on these. You don't lose 10% civ factory speed building, no, you just lose 5% because it doesn't matter, just bear with me. I would then work my way down here. He would get 2 more civs. He would modify Philipp Holzmann, but I'm not going to use Holzmann. By that time, I'm going to be building using Tod. But he would get plenipotentiary of armaments, 10% factory output, 10% dockyard output. That does look spicier than this, mostly because the build speed on this is not that massive. I guess I'll lose a little bit of build speed, but factory output is something I like a lot more. I definitely don't want Göring. Fuck Göring. This is difficult for me. I think I want to try this. Speer take over industrial businesses and see what that does. If that, just auto-completes this. It doesn't force me to do another one. Okay, let's see how that goes. And it hasn't taken Organization Tod away from me, so I can still take this one. Well, this is a little unexpected. Hungary wants in. I'm going to allow that. Fine, because that just allows me to exploit their trade treaty. And they won't leave the faction over it. A little weird. That's the first time I've seen them join me this early. And now I'm bringing in Goebbels, I think, to replace Tod. He's mostly outlived his usefulness. He's gonna go anyway, and that's gonna start getting our war support up, and as Gobble Gobble, the ghoul, works his way down here, we'll get some extra stability. Yay, my math wasn't off. I can still do Anschluss. So by this time, we can start Anschluss. Once you've started it, you can keep going. It will continue even if you no longer meet the requirements. So the army as it stands here, has managed to fill in enough equipment to meet the requirements. So that part still works. Yay! And with that done, I can now start training these divisions. It doesn't matter that we burn some equipment now. We have plenty of time to go to war, so we'll just start exercising these units, and once those guys have their equipment, we can also get another army out. So we have 4 full armies. I think we might actually need the 4 full armies. As for Spain, it is pain, but this guy's at least getting some experience. It would appear General Tomoyuki Yamashita has decided to intervene in the Spanish Civil War. Okay, so now we've got Japan sending volunteers. Sweet, Japan's declared war on China.
China.
So we are going to send China some volunteers, 7 units. Let's take 7 of our more experienced infantry divisions, split them off, and send them to China along with some air wings. 4 air wings, not bad, not bad. Yay, Anschluss, let's see the results. Show me the money. Yep, they say yes. Great. At least they haven't changed that aspect of the Anschluss. Huzzah! All right, everything is coming up Millhouse, I'd say. So we're gonna get everything positioned in a way that it sort of makes sense, I guess, and start organizing the military. So I have some troops there. We'll have most of them on Poland, and now we're gonna rush all the way down to the fate of Czechoslovakia. The first things I'm putting factories on now that they're coming online is gonna be those fighters. I have seen my number of fighters dwindle significantly, and I'd like to have more. So that's probably my first order of business. 1 Sudetenland, please. There we go. That's very nice. So it looks like at least my math isn't horribly off, and we can keep doing these. Very nice. Little early, but Bulgaria also wants in. Fine, I guess. Well, hey, Romania also wants, and it looks like everyone's joining the faction early. I'll take it. As for China, we're actually losing to the Japanese. It's okay as long as these troops see combat. I get my army experience, and I don't really mind. And we have consumed the Czechoslovakia, and we don't really need the massive amount of factories on infantry equipment. So we will be reducing this to 5. After which, of course, we'll build it back up, but for now 5 is fine, and we'll put all of the excess into Panzer IIIs. Alright, another change I'm gonna make. At this point, the guide tells me to get armored engineer companies. I don't like armored engineer companies anymore. My friendship with them has ended. So that gives me a little bit of a free slot that I could use to go ahead of time on survivability studies. Methinks that's not a terrible idea, though then again, I'm not going to get self-sealing fuel tanks into these really cheap fighters I'm currently making. So instead, I'm going to grab this. Let's get the improved fire controls. The Swiss could help us trade gold. Now this looks very, very beneficial on the whole, but they can cut that at any time. Now on historical, they usually don't really mess with you, but I've had a couple of runs where they then break this gold trade and really, really mess with our economy. So that's a bit It all looks really good though, so it might be too good to pass up, but if they cut us off, that would suck tremendously. You know, I'll take it. And we've completely broken Japan's, advance. I think I might have actually fucked Japan a bit too much because they can't do anything now. There we are, July 36. Wait. July 39. Our next focus is going to be Danziger War. It is going to more or less line up with the historical date, as the guide said it should. Oh, there we are. Win or lose, I guess this is where we find out just how tough Sheep's Mod is. Poland refuses, as you would expect. Danzig War. We'll continue following the guide, so that tells me I should be doing around the Maginot now, and we're simply going to declare... okay, I guess we have to wait. Give me the event. There we go. We get the event, we get our cores, and now I can declare this war. Again, not going to call my allies in. I have the navy out there of 48 surface vessels. Will this fleet be sufficient? I'm sure we'll find out. We're going to go in with a very aggressive attack here all along the Polish front, and we're going to use our armor to try and obviously punch through. and then see if we can already cut off everything around Poznan and Danzig. Over here, we're not going to do anything yet. Trade is going to become a problem, as one would expect, so we'll try to keep trade flowing through with people who don't hate my guts. Rearmament has always been our goal, so we're now going to turn on the economy of conquest. That fires Schacht, though. I believe. Yeah, it automatically fires Schacht, but for some reason it hasn't yet. It will. There we go. Prosperity and peace. Country is at peace. That fires Schacht. We'll get rid of Schacht. And Funk for the Minister of Economy, I suppose. Poland doesn't seem to be as tough as I had feared. So, oh, they got a lot of divisions though. Ah, they've got a lot still on the Soviet border. That must be the problem Poland's facing right now, which is understandable. And now, with the armor doing what it does best, we're gonna punch through to Warsaw and all the way through to Lvov if we can. Let's head to Warsaw as well. Okay, that's a lot more Polish divisions than I had anticipated, so good on Poland. Armor penetrating just as I hoped. Okay, so we're getting through, and I'm able to fend off most bomber swarms as well. Very nice, very nice. Our country is surviving. Okay, so maybe Poland's not quite as tough as I had feared. 15 days, I think we've got him. All right, there goes Poland. Cool. Time to make everyone else disappear. Let's move some troops over there. Let's not overload the border, because if we overload the border, we'll all starve because nobody's going to get supply. Armor up there, and then we'll move the infantry to the rear so I can fill in as needed. I don't need that many troops to throw at the enemy. Well, around the Maginot it is. Next up, Netherlands. We're going to kill these guys real pronto, real quick. Everything is in position. I don't need this massive army to move in. The troops I have at my disposal are fine. But I am going to move in like a secondary army. Yeah, the Netherlands is dead. Oh, good to know that just takes like 3 days. Ah, there you go, the Netherlands. Okay, that was easy. Move the infantry over to Belgium. All right, now I'm going to declare war on Belgium before they move too many divisions into positions where they can, you know, be overly annoying. Antwerp, and then from Antwerp, we'll head to Brussels. All right, so Belgium isn't dead. Oh, they cap at 10% or less. Oh, they're the really annoying build. That means Charleroi and Ghent have to be taken. Oh, that's a lot of divisions in the area. All right, Belgium's out. And small Dunkirk. Okay, with that, pivot, axis of advance along the southern edge here towards Amiens. Pushing Amiens. I think we'll get through. Yes, and then on to Dieppe, Le Havre, Rouen. And that angles us up for a push towards Paris. Let's quickly declare war on Luxembourg here as well. March the troops in. Apply pressure from all sides. Alright, we're in Paris. Magnifico. Okay, so from Paris we can... Oh, that goes Luxembourg. From Paris, we'll push up to Reims, take the supply there, and then it's just a trip down. Orléans, Tours, all the way La Rochelle, Bordeaux. Basically, we're going to need to capitulate the French the old-fashioned way, which means beating them over the head with a very big club. Yeah, the UK is actually landing troops. How about I'll let them land? I don't want to give the AI the opportunity of saving its divisions, because they'll live to fight another day if they make it off mainland France. Same with the UK's divisions. I don't want them going back home to fight me a second time on their beaches. So destroy them here and never have to worry about them again. Well, that's 20 of the UK's divisions. How's that? No small boats are gonna come and save you now, Churchill. You've lost the British Expeditionary Force. I've taken Bordeaux. That's another port they can't use to run away from me. Time to Vesseübung up in this bitch. Declare war on Denmark. They tend to not really put up a fight. Oh, okay then. It doesn't. Sweet. Triumph in France. Do I want to establish Vichy France? Yes. Yes, I do. Bada bing, bada boom. And Hess does his thing. Franz has capitulated. That leaves a couple of allied divisions over here. So be it, they're trapped, they're not going to go anywhere. We'll deal with those. And then basically we have to set up for the UK now. So let's start by planning our naval invasion. I would like to go from Calais to Dover. There's no guarantee that I can actually manage this, but we'll see. Well, with that all done, I'm going to start building a spy network in the Soviet Union so I can get collabs going there. I'm going to allow Italy to join this war, mostly because it's very likely to distract the British a little. And for reasons that are entirely alien to me, I don't know where the AI's ships are. They have full naval superiority on the North Sea. They're putting their navy out, just not in the channel. It feels a little sour to do this, but I'm going to hit them. See if we can actually land, though. That's the real kicker. Naval invasion's on its way, which means we pivot all the air over southern England, along with all the close air support over southern England. And every last fighter and bomber I have is gonna go over southern England. Ooh, we're hitting the naval invasion. Force attack so we can force the landing. All of air is up to protect the landing. Okay, so there's just nobody home. Sheep, you might want to take a look at the version you're running on the mod now. Oh, Switzerland. Bottom option. Yeah, we're in. They will pay or they will pay. The Swiss Confederation has seized our gold reserves. They will pay. Okay, so there's a lot of divisions here. They're just not at the southern coast. There goes London. Great. Oh, so now you'll put your navy out. Let's make sure we can get troops on Switzerland. We'll take the Swiss out. And let's finish off Norge as well. Declare that war. Get them involved. Wow, the UK is basically dead. Oh, in that case, I'm going to declare war on Switzerland because I am really angry at them for stealing my gold. Oh, the US joined. I guess that sort of means we're very unlikely to cap the Allies. I am extremely uninterested in fighting the Americans because it's such a long walk. What I could do is just garrison this coast with part of my army and put the rest on the Soviets and just go for an early Soviet war. I'll leave some troops in place here to make sure that nobody naval invades this again. I'll move my own army up to the Soviet border then. We've got our Rosenberg Office, so let's start forming some puppets. Each and every one of these is going to make it a little bit less harsh on our economy. Plus, they'll also do their own little focuses, making it a little bit better for us in the long run. Like Rijkskommissariat Großbritannien, they can have Moseley. Nederlanden, they can have Mussert. Belgium or Frankrijk, they can have De Grelle. Meren, let's just put a German there. The general government, put a German there. Let's make it a little bit bigger while we're at it. So we're going to do all of these when we can them, if we can. I've also just pivoted away from the guide, considering its research and focuses assume you've won the war by now, which we were so close to doing. So close. Meaning I'm going to go subs to harass the Americans. Other research is going to go into mechanized so I can really beef up my tank divisions and just the general improvements to the economy. Yeah, I've just noticed that Sweden's taken over bits of Norway. Why? Why have they done this? Does that lock me out of that that thing I can do with Swedish trade? Deal with Sweden? No, it shouldn't. Yeah, as long as I control Narvik, I'm supposed to get something out of Sweden. So we'll see how that does. Oh, my gold reserves. Well, at least we got one up on the Swiss for that. We're gonna make them pay for that. Anyway, we can create another little puppet thing. No, we can't. Oh, has not completed focus Quisling's. What? I cannot create Rijkskommissariat Norwegen because Norway has completed Quisling's coup. I should have just let Quisling in, I guess. Serves me right. As is tradition, it looks like Italy's gonna get its ass kicked in Africa. Oh, God. Time to get them some help. We'll ship like half this army over there, give them to a different general. Oh, God. You're gonna make things difficult for me. Why do you have to make things difficult for me? There we go. You head over there and hold Tobruk if you can, please. Well, it's like mid-1940. We're maybe a year early, but I think war with the USSR is what we're here for. Let's get this started. Meanwhile, I'm gonna try naval invading Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man, just to take all possibilities away from the Allies of quickly retaking Britain. And I'm not actively fighting a campaign in North Africa, but I am going to keep troops here just to make sure that Italy doesn't lose all of North Africa immediately, because they've lost control of the Mediterranean. And until I can either subdue Spain or get them on my side, I'm not going to get my navy into the Med to see things right. And now, for reasons that are entirely unclear to me, when Italy decided to attack Yugoslavia, they never joined the faction. So, we got a peace deal out of it. Managed to gobble myself up a bit of Slovenia, a bit of Croatia, a bit of Bosnia, and a bit of Serbia. They're all ruled by apparently the same guy. So that solved that issue, I suppose. There we go. War with USSR. This is going to go so well for us. Fine. Free generals. We'll declare that war. Not call any of our allies in. Oh dear. Oh, Soviets are angry. Let's slow the game down. See what we can do. Okay. So, green bubbles. Greece in the common term, because of course it is. Green bubbles, green bubbles. And the armor is through. We are heading to Riga, boys. We are heading to Riga. The greenest of bubbles. Yes, Panzer forward! Okay, I guess we're not taking the Riga then. Fuck. I guess we were slow, so be it. Halt, 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 halt. Let's just focus on taking this pocket out. They're gonna try to evacuate. Let's not allow that. No, you idiot Romanians! I didn't want you in this war! I asked for a slightly improved AI on my side, not more idiots. The Soviets are just declaring war on all our puppets. I guess this is their way of the mods' way of making sure you can't cheese things with not calling puppets to war. Little lame. Little lame. You know, let me have my fun every now and then, please. Anyway, the armor is working. It works, and we're winning again. All right, the armor's through, and the Courland pocket is now effectively 100% encircled. They no longer have a port. The Soviets are literally declaring war on everyone. Anyway, this is destroyed, and this pocket will also be destroyed. Then from here, we'll move the armor up, and we'll try to get Minsk from the south. Alright, we have Minsk and a couple more casualties here. That first blow against the Soviet Union went reasonably well. That is 2 million casualties in the first 28 days of the war. Let's get the Vitebsk and Smolensk. Meanwhile, naval invasions. Oh, it's the Raj. They're gonna take Italian land. Vitebsk and Smolensk are open. That's perfect. All right, massive lack of supply. This is unfeasible until that railway is connected. Until then, pivot south and attempt to seize Kiev or Kyiv. Yeah, the Italians have thrown the game. At least there are some bright spots. Punch through near Kiev. The armor's running south. Yay, fall of Kiev or Kyiv, whatever. The idea here is if I can take that tile, I could get all that encircled, but it's proving a little difficult. I should have brought the armor in. Unfortunately, the armor is busy right now trying to do things over here. In hindsight, I could have done great things here as well. So many opportunities that I'm missing out on because I'm trying to do too many things at once. I can't micro everything. Down to Mykolaiv. I believe that's where Soviet shipyards were. Most of them, at least. The big ones. Head south and then cut off that entire section. It's a pretty little encirclement that we can make there. And while we're at it, at Dnipropetrovsk, that is the local supply for the area above Crimea. I don't want to check on Italy. Okay, so that's another little encirclement. We'll kill these troops and then hold in the north. All right, Soviets are going to feel that one. Oh, that is good casualties. 3.5 million casualties. Yeah, US is funneling more and more troops into Italy, and Italy is just not responding to it. As far as the air war is concerned, I think we may have actually won that bit at least. Yeah, I can pierce those tanks. Oh, this is going to be a massive issue. Oh, Mussolini, you stupid fuck! I'm going to introduce support anti-tank to my army. I have a shortage but it's not as big of a short. Well, it is a big shortage, but I think I can produce my way out of that deficit. Let's go for another encirclement. I need to destroy Soviet divisions because at this rate, I can't just push them back. That's never going to work. And over here, another encirclement. Huzzah! Attack. Put the pressure on. We're gonna start seeing some deaths come up. That's good. All right, so I might actually save Italy there. This little pocket's also dealt with. Whew. How am I 1,800 tanks short? What the fuck? All right, I'm pulling the armor off the line. I am pulling the armor off the line. Okay, that's not gonna work. This isn't working out. Let's just contain the armor. A little bit of armor rearguard action. Sit back, relax, take a breather. We've done enough. Well, I'm gonna clean this up using the tanks, but we've done enough for the rest. Wait, where's my manpower gone? Have I taken that many casualties? I've taken 500,000 casualties. My men are gone. Oof, I'm going to service by requirement. Oh, while I'm at it, might as well go to Total Mob and then get women in the workforce. Firing squad. This path comes with benefits and risks. Let him go. This is the appropriate choice. Okay, let me guess. It's Santa? That was the Santa event? Over there, we've seized Smolensk. That'll do, and then we'll pivot that armor south again. We have completed the encirclement. We'll use the armor to kill it. All right, looks like we've actually seized this portion of Crimea. Damn, I think Barbarossa just wore off. That means I failed my Führer directive. I seized Kiev and that's it. We've also taken Rostov with an armor push. Okay, so there's been a massive mistake, I think, in terms of AI decision making. They appear to have left this front. I'm going to attack. Oh, looks like the Russians are back. Ah, well, I advanced. Alright, time to seize Estonia. I've managed to husband enough armor again to make a little push here. Springboard to Leningrad as well. Unfortunately, Finland's now their puppet. And I think we're through. We just gotta head to Narva. Got Pskov, that's good for local supply. Alright, can I now create another puppet? Yay! Reichskommissariat Ostland. Congratulations. Alright, got Leningrad seized. I'm not gonna go in on Finland, I think. I don't want to advance that far. Armor reposition. We're gonna make a broad assault towards Stalingrad, seize that. Hey, another friend, Reichskommissariat Ukraine. They've lost the Baku oil fields. I've kept Italy alive in North Africa. Alright, time to head to Moscow. Hit my campaign instructions and tell the armor to go. I'll do a little bit of micro, but honestly, it should be fine. Good God, though. Fuck me, the Soviet Union is a lot tougher than base game. I'll give you that, sheep. I'm gonna see if I can bully Sweden into giving me some of their resources. Where's that button? Demands to Sweden. So if this goes off, I would very much like it to go off. That will give me enough to do autarky. Alright, that's another, what, 20-ish divisions there. And this is another... Oh, Italy! Could you just defend yourself for once? Oh, Sweden said no. Damn it. Oh, well, Sweden's gonna say no. Let's see if I can get something out of Spain. I could do Operation Felix and invade, or demand they become a puppet. Alliance with Spain would make them a friend. There's no point in invading Spain. I'll do an alliance with them. Yes. I could invade Portugal later on if I really wanted to. No, yeah, they have all the tungsten. That would be all I need. Alright, Spain is in. I just need to invade Portugal. We'll do that. I'll free up the armor for the job along with some infantry and we'll use them. Oh yeah, that's Gibraltar is ours. I love these tanks though. Stats on these things are insane. Oh, and bada bing bada boom. Gibraltar is taken. Alright, time for Operation Isabella. I'm gonna seize Portugal's stuff. Might as well call my allies in. Alright, sweet. He'll give me the tungsten producing bits. Alright, let the focus roll up. Roll up. Autarky achieved! Go, 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 go! With that tungsten, I can get this doing. Oh, sweet. I'll fix my economy. We'll finish that up and we'll move all these troops over to the main front because they have been counterattacking me a little bit. Hey, and the Navy did a thing as well. We've made contact with the US Carrier Task Force and showed them who is boss. The USS Shangri-La and USS Hancock were sunk by destroyers. And autarky achieved. My economy is no longer shit. The Wirtschaftswunder. It's reintegrate Alsace-Lorraine and Luxembourg. And then on to the final steps. Moscow. Moscow is ours. German panzers are doing it. Okay, we've seized Moscow. Is that enough? It's not nearly enough, is it? Well, it's the fall of Moscow at least. Just finished the job here. That's gotta be... Let's see, they're at 9.6 million casualties, 309 divisions. Okay, so that was a Soviet counterattack that is about to retake Leningrad. That's not great, but I can push back. Oh, they've also taken back Stalingrad! We'll drive up from the south then and liberate Stalingrad from the rear. Giggity. I've managed to take Stalingrad by pushing up to Saratov and then down along the river. Stalingrad is seized, got a couple more divisions encircled, managed to take Kalinin, and we're moving the armor up to Leningrad. Yay, another pocket. Was that another 50 divisions encircled? Is it going to matter? Magnificent. Just look at them disappear. They have more units than when I last checked, but they've taken 12 million casualties. Could it be? A Spanish naval invasion is going to seize Leningrad. Could it be that Spain comes to my rescue? It is maybe true. Spain has seized Leningrad. 100% capitulation! Spain, you glorious bastard. You've done it. Franco, thank you. Wow, they still had a lot of equipment. All right. I'm going to form my puppets, and then I'm going to call it a day, I think. It's done. I have defeated the mass assault doctrine Soviet Union, and all it cost me was most of my sanity. I can now create some glorious fresh puppets. We're gonna quickly mop that up, and then we'll call it a day. We have the Russian Protectorate, a bunch of puppets, Reichskommissariats. The Axis stands triumphant in Europe. I don't want to fight the Allies, but I think I could make the naval invasion at least. I'm gonna see if I can take Ireland and call it a day there. Well, with this ambitious plan that basically lays out the rest of this campaign, which I'm not going to do. We now have to spend an inordinate amount of time defending Europe, which is... Honestly, considering our resources relatively easily, we can throw back everything and anything they throw at us with the troops we have at our disposal. It would just be building up naval assets because the Allies have a lot of ships. They got a lot of ships, but I can sink a lot of their ships real quick. Oh, they just evacuated the Isle of Man. Oh, that makes it easy for them to take it. Sweet. Oh, an actual naval battle. Oh, let's see how our Navy deals with this. An actual US Navy. Oh, yeah, we're winning. There you go. Yeah. Yay, we're in Ireland. Let's get the armor in there. Get the Marines organized to hold the beaches as best they can. Yay, Ireland's capped. Now I just need to get Northern Ireland. And everything will be well with the world. I will have total control of Europe, and I'm gonna ignore the bits that I don't control, and it's all gonna be India. Okay, it's all gonna be great. That's the last of Britain's holdings in the region. There go the last of them. Oh, they got quite a bit of armor piercing. They can pierce my armor. I can pierce their armor, but I have way more breakthrough than they have defense. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Ireland secured. It's done. It's over. Großbritannien can handle it. And with that, I can confidently say that 1, my guide still works. Definitely if you're playing against base game AI. And 2, I can beat Sheep's Mod. I hope that it's not because of something that went horribly wrong, but I think I am good enough at the game that I can beat Sheep's Mod. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my slow and steady descent into madness. Hope you guys will consider liking the video, hit subscribe. We're trying to get that 300k subs, and eventually I will catch ISP. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. And once again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. And remember guys, use the links down below to check out the game. It's free. It's on PC, Xbox, basically any console. It's on mobile. Go pick it up. You'll get a free tank, some bonuses, some money, and 7-day trials of various tanks. Check it out.